What is the number one takeaway you got from Evan's speech?
You suck! I might be a little different from the typical creator community because I started with business in mind, and I expect everything to fail. If you're only talking to your subscribers, your channel's dying.
Can you teach me some salsa?
Yeah?
All right, is everybody having a good time? Evan is a very successful entrepreneur and a very successful YouTuber. But you didn't start, your success, it didn't start with YouTube, did it?
Yeah, I might be a little different from the typical creator community because I started with business in mind. So YouTube wasn't my, hey, I'm going to throw something up and maybe it turns into something and then that creates a business. I came from an entrepreneur background, had a software company in biotech, built it, sold it, became a venture capitalist, helping raise up to 15 million for companies, and then started down my thought leader slash influencer slash YouTube speaker path. And so it's always been from day one to be a business. Like this has to generate return. This is a business. So all of my content, if you guys know my content, it's around helping entrepreneurs. How many of you guys have seen one of my videos? Okay, so decent chunk.
A lot of hashtag believers in here.
A lot of believers. So I'll do content around entrepreneurs, breaking down success secrets from different successful entrepreneurs. I've had my channel for over 10 years. It was April 2009 that was the start. And it's an educational channel, right? So it's not a family fun vlog showing kids. It's like it's harder to win in the education space. But we've had a lot of success for the past 10 years. Twice as big as Gary Vee's channel by views. And yeah, daily content for the past 5-6 years.
So one of the reasons that we wanted to have Evan speak to you guys from our stage this year is because of his background in business. He's speaking directly to you, the business owner. And so there's a lot of questions that I have for Evan that I am constantly asked from business people that I just want to kind of pass over to you and see what it is, what advice that you can give. So there's a couple of things that I always get asked, or I guess it's kind of one of the major complaints among business owners who are trying to do video. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. How do you respond to that?
Well, just in general, you're working from a place of lack. Like, as an entrepreneur in general, if that's your answer to anything, then you've already lost, right? So for anything, like I don't have enough time, I don't have the money for X, Y, Z. If that's your answer, it's game over. Like that can't. It's always about the resourcefulness, not about your resources. Always, as an entrepreneur. Now, everything has to work. Like, it's got to pay off. You're an entrepreneur. We have busy lives. What you're putting in, yes, you want it to be fun, but at least for me, it has to work. You've got to generate an ROI. And so I love doing small starts. I love doing small tests. I think YouTube should be the long-term home for everybody. If you're looking at, we talk about different social media platforms, I think Instagram, LinkedIn is probably the fastest way to grow. The challenge is nobody's looking at your LinkedIn content from 2 weeks ago. Nobody looks at your Instagram content from yesterday. Meanwhile, videos that I made 10 years ago are still getting views on my channel. It's the only place, YouTube is the only place where your content lives forever. The only place. So the work you do now to create a video in 5 years, as long as it's not trending, like it's a 2019 trend around something, in 5 years it's still getting views. And that's leads for your business, that's awareness for your brand. If you're in a business for the long haul, like if you're gonna sell your company in the next 2 years, don't go into YouTube. It's not a good strategy. But if you're trying to build a long-term brand for yourself and your business, then YouTube is the best place in the world right now to be a part of. It just takes the most work and effort to have success on because you're competing against not just everybody who's making content now, you're competing against all the back catalogs of everybody's content as well. But I want to see you get a result. Like, I think for somebody saying, I don't have time, I don't have resources, what you're really saying is you value your time, you want to get results, and so I want you to prove it to yourself that it works on a small scale before you start ramping up and expanding.
That's great advice. So let's go tactical, because Evan, if you guys know anything about Evan, he is a powerhouse machine when it comes to video. He's over 5,000 videos on his primary channel, 1.9 million subscribers, 5,000 videos. So he's been doing this a lot. So tell us about some of the ways that you are able to crank out so much content and then continue to operate at the level that you do as a businessman.
So now we've got 24 people on my team, so it's not just me doing everything, right? It may be unfair to look at what I'm doing now and say, well, how do I be like that, right? I mean, when I started, it was just me. And then I quickly realized I suck at editing. And I don't want to get good at it either.
Who else feels that way? Show of hands.
Well, and listen, and like shout out to all the video editors who love doing it, right? Like if you're a video editor and that's your art and you want to be the Michael Jordan of video editing, awesome. Like I want to work with you. But that was not me. And so I think too many people, I was having a conversation with somebody outside who's still doing a lot of the titles and descriptions and the uploading and all this stuff. It's like, dude, that's a minimum wage job that you're spending all your time doing. And that prevents you from doing the thing that you are great at. And that can take you from 1 video a week to 3 videos a week. Like you're Michael Jordan at something. Where are you spending your time? And if only 5% of your time is actually what you're Michael Jordan at, you're never going to grow. So what is the thing that you can be great at? And there's a lot of different ways to win. I like being in front of the camera. That was the best thing for me. But some people, maybe it's your voice, maybe it's your art, maybe it's something else. But like, what are you the greatest in the world at, or potential? And then spending as much time there as possible. So when I realized that, I respect the editing, but I can't be the guy to do it. My first hire, as soon as I started making money for my channel, was it's going to go into editing. And I moved from a video a week to then moving up to a video a day. And now we do 3 to 4 videos a day across my channels. But I've always treated it like a business, right? So you're the CEO of your business. You've got insane talent at something, and as much as your time as possible needs to be spent on that thing.
By the way, hiring a good editor was the best use of money that I've ever spent, because it really takes the workload off. So let's talk about let's talk about workflow for just a minute, because I also know that you're not just on YouTube. You're all over the place. You've got an Instagram page that's got over 100,000 followers on it, and he's active on Twitter. So what's your workflow like for all of your social media?
I think YouTube should be your home with long-form content based off of what you are great at, especially for the thought leaders in here. Like you're an expert at something, plumbing, whatever it is. If you are an expert, I want long-form video, 10-minute plus videos of you with your expertise, and I wouldn't even get super fancy at the beginning. I just want to see you creating the content. YouTube has the best analytics platform. So you look at your audience retention. If you know what audience retention is, you go to your back end. For every video, you can see where people are dropping off, right? And then you see if there's ever a spike, or you see where people are sticking around. That becomes your 1-minute Instagram video. That becomes your 45-second Twitter video from what's already working on YouTube. You don't have to guess. And so you start with YouTube. You make long-form content there, and then you look at your data. I love making data-driven decisions. I'm a passion guy, but I want it to work. It's got to work. It's got to generate results for my business. And so data-driven decisions, you see what's working in your analytics, audience retention, right? And then you cut that, and that goes to your other social media channels. But I think I think people are spending too much time on different channels. Like I think too many small business owners exhaust themselves because they're trying to be everywhere, and then you end up sucking everywhere, and then nothing takes off. And there was a woman somewhere who said, like, I haven't posted in 15 days on my channel, and was feeling bad about that. I think that's actually good. Like, I think you should mail in most of your social channels. I think you should figure out the one where you can be Michael Jordan and crush it, and then expand a team, and then worry about the other platforms.
So you talk about making data-driven choices. So can you tell us maybe about some of your testing that you've done on your channel? Because I know you've tested multiple videos a day. You've tested a video a day, and some things have been really successful, and some things maybe have fallen flat. Can you talk a little bit about some of the things that you have had success with, and then also, I mean, I think we all learn best from the mistakes that other people make, and so we'd love to hear about maybe some of the mistakes that you've made too.
Yeah, I think people put too much pressure on making sure that this next thing is the huge thing. I love doing small tests, and I'll make the production quality super low at the beginning because that's a barrier to actually creating the content. So for any of you out there who may not have a full-time editor, may not be able to afford a full-time editor, awesome. I think you should take your phone out and start recording yourself. And most people are training the wrong skill. Most people, you'll take out a phone and you'll record yourself for 3 hours to get a 10-minute video, and you're going back and forth and cut, right? And then and you're off editing, where you want to flip it. You want to spend 3 hours actually recording it to the point where you can speak for 10 minutes for fire that doesn't need any editing, and then release it. Because if you're spending 20 minutes recording and 4 hours editing and you don't want to be an editor, you're training the wrong skill. Right? You don't want to be an editor, so don't spend 4 hours doing it and only 20 minutes being a thought leader of what you could actually be world class at. And so I want to reduce the barrier at the beginning to just get started. It doesn't mean disrespect the editing. It means you're not the person, so you need to go work with that person. But how do you get to that person? By creating fire content that builds an audience. So if I look at my top 10 series as an example, an iconic series on my channel where I look at top 10 rules for success for different people, that started off as a one-off video because a friend of mine was attacking Kanye West, and I said, hey, Kanye says a lot of weird, stupid stuff sometimes, but you can also learn from him. And so I made a top 10 video on Kanye West. That was the first video in that series that I ever did. It was meant to be a throwaway series just to show my friend Mark, hey, go learn from him. And then people liked it. Said, hey, can you do Jay-Z? Hey, can you do Mark Cuban? Hey, can you do? It's like, yeah. Well, let's go. And I built a team around it, and it became a weekly series and twice a week and then daily. And so the series that became the most iconic series on my channel was just a one-off test that was never supposed to be a series. It was just a show to my friend Mark to say, eat it and learn from this guy. Right? And so I think I love doing those tests. I think you should love doing those tests. I think when you find a series that works, great. You have that as your regular series, but then I'm always injecting new test series, and I expect everything to fail. I expect none of them to work, and then some of them do, and it takes off. So that's on a series basis. We're testing our thumbnails. We use TubeBuddy to do split tests on thumbnails. We've run 1,200 tests or something. We're the largest split tester on their platform, and that makes me have better decisions for how to run my thumbnails, right? Last year here at Video Marketing World, a number of people were using my thumbnails as a best case, like, hey, copy Evan's thumbnails. And I'm telling my team, hey, we suck. Like, I want to double the performance of our thumbnails. And it's through the constant testing. And most things don't work. But I'm not attached to the losses. I just expect it not to work out. And then I'm pumped when something actually does, and then we push hard against it.
So what I really like most about Evan is his power of positive thinking mindset, right? And there's something to be said about being a positive thinker in this industry, because we have ups and downs and ups and downs. And a lot of the times when you're here, you're too afraid to take another step in any direction because you don't want to fall down. And so can you talk about the mindset of what it takes to be a successful creator and successful on any social media platform?
So I think this is not a YouTube creator's journey, it's an entrepreneurial's journey. Like anybody who's run a business, that's what it's like. It's lonely, it's rough, it's a roller coaster ride. I think the mindset trick through it is when you're up here, I tell myself I suck. Like, I suck. And then when I'm down here, like, I'm the best. Where most people flip it, and then it's a bad, like when you're crushing it, it's easy to get full of yourself. Right? So when I come to an event like this, listen, I know a lot about YouTube, but I want to be told that I suck. Like the best thing in the world would be for Jeremy, who's helped me a bunch over the years, to say, hey, Evan, you know what? You suck because of this. And I actually will tell people, hey, tell me why I suck. And what that does is creates the permission for them to be honest. Because people have feedback that will help your channel grow, help your business grow, but they're afraid of, it might hurt your feelings, they're afraid of they're going to tap dance around the truth because they're not sure how it's going to land with you. It's like, no, tell me I suck. Yeah, great.
Who else?
Right?
Say,
right?
Let's hear it. You suck.
You suck. Great. But then why? Right? Because what it does is it creates permission to then, almost always, the default answer is, well, you don't suck. But, you know, if you did like these 2 or 3 things, you could really see growth. And then I get the truth out. And so I see this as a leadership thing, too, for my team. When somebody comes in and they think they're the best because we've just had some big win. It's like, awesome, big win, but you still suck. Like, this is nothing compared to what you could do. Let's go. Like, this is a tiny fraction of what you're capable of. But when they come in and they're feeling low and they had a loss or they're feeling bad about themselves, like, dude, you're amazing. What are you talking about? Right? And so I think you just need you need both, but the timing is critical. So when we're up here, we suck. And we're down here, we're the best.
Awesome. All right. In your opinion, what are, let's limit it to three things.
Okay.
The three most important things to build success on, let's say, Instagram. Go Instagram.
Listen, 80% of success on any social media platform is going to be consistent, valuable content. It's fire, meaning you're really helping people, and you're consistent. I'm a big fan of going daily. I think if you can go daily, and listen, burnout is real, and we can talk about that if you want, but if you're capable, I think you should. Like, I think if you have talent and genius and you have a message to share, you should get that out as much as possible. Instagram we do 3 to 6 times a day. Posts, videos, we'll do stories 3 to 20 times a day. Our normal week will go live 5 times a week. Like, content. That's how you build it and grow. If you're good, and if you're a thought leader and you're an expert, then you just talking into your phone and helping people. That's the whole game.
Value.
Yeah. And then so 80% of any success in social media is valuable, consistent content, right? The last 20% is understanding each platform and what you need to do, right? Hashtag, super important on Instagram. 0 on YouTube. We can get into that. But 0 on YouTube, right? But important for Instagram, right? Instagram, if you're doing IGTV, it's a lot better now than if you're doing just video posts, right? So understanding the nuances of each platform, yes, makes a difference, but people are always looking for the nuances and the hacks. Meanwhile, 80% is still, like the biggest problem for most people is your content isn't good enough yet, right? Like, watch your video, look at your retention in the first 30 seconds, you've already probably lost half of your audience in the first 30 seconds. That means your content has to get better. No title or description update or tag update is going to save you. Like, you got to fix your content.
It means you suck.
Yeah, you suck. But not as a human. Your content just sucks. That's okay. And that's what I'll tell people, right? It's like, look, see that? That sucks. This is where you need to get better. But I love you, right? Like, you're a genius at this thing. Just, you're focusing on the wrong thing.
Okay, so I heard, we were talking in the halls, and I heard somebody talking about how most of their leads for their business come through Facebook or come through YouTube generation, just generating leads through your videos. And they're worried that if if the algorithm changes, then their leads dry up. What do you say to something like that?
You take your talent elsewhere. Right? Like, I'm not in that diversify camp. I don't think it's a good idea, especially for a small business owner where you're doing everything yourself. I think it's a really stupid idea, to be honest. And we can get into that too, if you want. But I think if you're good, if YouTube is the thing or Facebook is this thing and then it goes away, the skills are transferable. Your ability to make a good video, you can take somewhere else. And then people are watching those videos somewhere else. Right? Like, your ability to be a thought leader, especially, to share a message, you need to develop the skill to take it from a 15-second Instagram story that moves people, right? 15 seconds, up to a 3-minute LinkedIn video, to a 10-minute YouTube video, to a 20-minute radio interview, to a 3-day conference. You have to scale up and scale down your message. But that skill you take with you is transferable. So you guys, if you look at the Paul brothers, Logan Paul and Jake Paul, they were on, what was the platform they're on?
They were on Vine.
Vine. Shuts down, right? And then they moved to YouTube and start crushing it. 10 million subscribers. They didn't just blow up and come out of nowhere. They had the skill set on how to make good videos. Now, you may not agree with them or like their videos, or it's entertaining. They developed their skill sets on Vine and brought it over. So if YouTube goes away tomorrow, great. Where are people watching content? I'll go crush it there. And I think so should you. But I think we get into a game of diversification that then honestly screws over too many entrepreneurs. My favorite quote around this is Andrew Carnegie, who was the richest man in the world at one point when he was alive, who said, put all your eggs in one basket and then watch that basket. Yeah. This is not an investing strategy, right? If you're an investor and you don't know what you're doing, yeah, great. Put it in the market, diversify, right? But as a business owner, you put your eggs in one basket and then you watch that basket. That's how you get rich, not by trying to have 18 multiple streams of income and none of them are doing well.
Yeah, the point is, yeah, success is transferable because it's a mindset. It's a mindset that you develop. And if you can develop a success-oriented mindset with social media, then like Evan said, it's transferable to any business on or off of the social media platform. It's just a matter of putting in the work, dedicating your time, and having the right mindset to it.
Yeah, mindset, and you're developing your skills. Like focusing on the right skill that you could be Michael Jordan at, and then spending time to hone that craft, and that will serve you for the rest of your life through 18 different platform iterations of whatever's hot at the moment.
Okay, Evan, what do you do when you start to feel the burnout? We talked a little bit about that. You touched on that. What's your strategy for when you start feeling, get those feelings like, oh my gosh, I got to make another video today. I don't want to do this.
I'm out. Yeah, like if you wake up and say, I don't want to make another video today, you're doing the wrong thing. Now, are you out of video completely, or are you just bored with what you're doing? I think too many people, you grow and evolve as a human. Like even if you loved what you were doing at the beginning, too many entrepreneurs then buy themselves a job. You liked it at the beginning, it was different, but now you see that only this thing works, and so you spend the rest of your life doing that, and then you start hating your life. So you need to adjust. As you evolve and grow as a human, right? We're going like this. If your business is here, you're going to start to hate your life. So you need to match it. Like your business is always a reflection of you and what you want to do. So if you're dreading Monday, like, oh, I got to go make a video, you need to really rethink what you're doing, because you're going up against people who love doing it. You're going to lose every time. So you have to go in with the thing that you are interested in, that you love doing. People always message me and they say, hey, Evan, this guy took your idea, this guy copied your video, this guy, it's like, okay. Like, it's flattering, great, but what so? You're going to be a junior Evan? Like, what do I care? Right? I'm building, you can't out Evan, right? And I can't out you, right? Like, you got to do you got to do the thing. But doing you is a constant evolution. And so you always have to bring that into the content you're creating. So Jerry Seinfeld calls it the torture you can endure, where you hear a lot about, like, follow your passion, follow your bliss, and follow your purpose, which it's the number one rule for success across all the people I've profiled. But Jerry Seinfeld calls it the torture you can endure, because me stepping into Scott's schedule should be torture for me. Like torture, like I should hate my life. Not because it's wrong, it's just wrong for me. And vice versa. You should jump into my schedule and say, that's torture, I would hate that. So humans are built, I believe humans are built to serve. I think it's hardwired into, you want to serve, you want to help. And we want to do work that is purposeful. You don't want to sit on the beach all day. You don't. Like if your dream is to go sit on the beach, it's only because you hate your life right now. But you don't actually want to go sit on the beach all day. So we need to fix that. So what would be energizing for you? And maybe that's still, hopefully, within the video world, if you're here, learning. Your business always needs to be a reflection of you. And so I'm not making big, I don't get to the point of like, I'm feeling burnt out because I pay more attention. I don't let it get to some huge chasm. I'm fixing it like way down here. As soon as I feel like something's not feeling right, I have to say, why am I not feeling this? Either I need to kill this or I need to find a way to adjust it. I still like making videos. Like I've been doing it for 10 plus years. It's still exciting for me, but I'm not doing it the same way that it was before.
That's excellent advice. Very, very good advice. Okay, so here's what I want to do now. I want to go into I want to learn more about Evan. I want to do a lightning round. And so I'm going to ask him a bunch of questions, and you just
Let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, ready? Okay, I'm ready. Favorite food?
Pizza.
Pizza, all right. Favorite color?
Orange.
Okay. Where do you live?
Toronto.
Not address.
Toronto.
Okay, Toronto. What's your
Canada.
address? No, I'm just kidding. What's your favorite thing about video?
The ability to impact people.
Brilliant. And what is your favorite social media platform?
YouTube.
What is your favorite hobby off of social media?
Salsa dancing, League of Legends.
Salsa dancing. Can we do something fun?
Yeah.
Can you teach me some salsa?
Yeah?
Hey, do you have some salsa music? Is that can he teach us some salsa? Is that cool? All right. Okay, cool.
Okay,
All right, here we go.
so you're going to go forward on the spot, and forward on the spot together, and then you take your, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So to the beat would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, there you go. Now you got to go back. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go back with your right foot. Back.
This is getting intense.
It's getting intense. Back on the spot together. So you're going forward, together, back, and together.
Okay.
Forward and together, back and together. Yeah.
I have 2 left feet.
That was good. Yeah.
Okay, so show me some hip work now. What do we do with that? Oh,
So
what
the
am I
hip-
doing wrong? See, she said I suck.
So people think it's a hip. You gotta say I suck, but then give tips.
See, that's what I
It's
said.
not just
What?
being a hater. You gotta say you suck, but I love you and I'm gonna help you.
All right.
Right?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
people think it's the hips. It's not the hips, it's actually the knees. It's the
Amber,
knees.
you get that? I'm all about knees.
It's the knees. So, people, you can't just step straight and then stick your hip out. That's not it. As you do this, you bend your knee in.
Oh.
Yeah, and that brings out your opposite hip.
Okay.
I own a dance school in Toronto too. It's one of the companies I invested in, so it's how I met my wife, and I know all this stuff. Yeah, 1, 2. So every time you're stepping, you're bending your opposite knee in. Yeah, and that brings the hip out. So you step, and then you bring the knee in,
Knee in.
and then step and bring the knee in. Yeah, but don't twist your foot.
Oh, okay.
Not like this. Yeah, your foot's straight, but the knee is in. The body motion is the hardest part to get.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's give it up for Evan Carmichael.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Let's have some questions. Anybody have any questions for Evan?
This is my favorite part.
All right, here we go.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So, what would be your advice to Gary Vee? Because you earlier in the introduction, you were told that we were told that you have more views than Gary, or more subscribers. So, what does he suck at?
I love Gary. And listen, I've worked with Gary for the past, even before I was on YouTube. We did a line of entrepreneur trading cards where we donated the proceeds to charity, and we raised 6 figures for charity. So I've known Gary before he was really doing anything on YouTube. Couple things. I think Gary is a generational talent, but his team needs to rise up. When we were racing to $1 million, I don't think that Gary really cared who got there first, but I'm going to be Gary to $1 million. I actually got a little pissed in the summer because you know what's going to happen? Gary's going to take the summer off. He's going to leave it to his team, and he's going to tank. And we're neck and neck. But then summer happened, and I blew past him because he left it to his team, and he didn't tank. Like, it's still getting great numbers, but it's not. It's him. When he is live doing his thing, he's amazing. And so I want his team to get better and rise up. Next, I think there's too much inconsistencies on his thumbnails. It's too all over the place. What is it? If you guys want to win on YouTube, suggested videos, right, showing up down the side, before you'll ever rank against somebody else's video, that's your ultimate goal, right? There's some video that popped, you're going to show up after it. That's where you want to go. But before that happens, you have to rank against your own videos, right? Look at your suggested, or log into your YouTube in unlisted incognito mode, and look at your channel. Look at the most popular video on your channel, and then see how many of your own videos are showing up underneath. For too many of you, it's not enough. So if you're not ranking against your own videos first, you're never going to rank against somebody else's video. It's not going to happen. But that is the big game. Search is not the game. We had a great slide this morning. Like, search is not the game for you to actually grow. So one of the big reasons, one of the big ways, how do you make that happen? Great strategy. How do you make it happen? Well, consistent thumbnails. People are watching your video, they see your video in the side, but they don't know that that's your video because it's a totally different thumbnail. Different branding, different icons, different graphics, different colors. Gary's all over the place on that, and I think it hurts him. And then a third strategy I would say is, wherever Tim is, if he's still here, Tim has a great strategy at the end of videos where he says, hey, you like this video, go watch this one next. Point people to the next video they need to watch. All of you should be doing it. Gary doesn't. It's your path to beat him.
All right, next question over here.
All right, thank y'all so much for an awesome talk so far. We should definitely have a salsa dance outside
All
just
right.
with everybody, if anybody's down for that. But there's that huge conversation right now about closed captioning and having captions in all your videos. You're posting multiple videos a day, multiple times a day. Is there a certain point where certain videos just, you don't have the capacity to caption all these videos? So what becomes the ones that you caption and what becomes the ones that you don't if you're not captioning some?
So I love the presentation at the start talking about captions. I have not proven that it works. There's a service called rev.com, which if you don't know about, you can check it out. They charge you $1 per minute to caption in English. I did about 500 to 700 videos and could not prove that it made any difference at all. So I stopped. And at a different video event last year, I talked to the guys from Rev and I said, hey, like, work with me, help me. I want to give you money. 5,000 videos. I'll do them all if you show me that it works. And we couldn't figure out a way to make it actually generate any kind of significant return. So my answer is I don't caption. 0 on YouTube. Instagram we do, because in the videos you want to, if you have the words on it, it has a bigger impact. But I haven't been able to prove that it makes any kind of difference on YouTube.
I think that also goes into constantly testing, because what works for somebody might not work for somebody else. And to be honest, you know, I've had conversations with people who are experts in this industry, and I've asked them the same question, and I've gotten 2 different answers before. So it's all about your personal journey and testing things as you go along.
Yeah, and I tested hundreds of videos for that, right? Hundreds, not just like 2 and see, oh, it didn't work.
All right, over here.
All right. I have a following on LinkedIn,
Nice.
and I usually just have posts and articles. A few days ago, I had for the first time an article that was trending. So
Nice.
I got really excited
Congrats.
about that, but I guess I should
Nice.
say I sucked because it was trending,
Okay.
so I sucked. But at the same time, I'm looking. At the same time,
love
I'm
it.
looking to now do videos and wanting to launch videos on LinkedIn. So I'd really love to hear what's the biggest piece of advice you could give me if I'm looking to kind of do the videos now on LinkedIn.
Start.
Yes.
Like, LinkedIn is a business platform.
Yes.
Shout out to Judy Fox, who's the LinkedIn expert.
She's got the fox ears over here. You can see her.
Okay.
LinkedIn is a business platform. You're an expert. What is your content about?
I do well-being and inclusion.
Great. So lower the barrier for production quality,
Okay.
because no editor is going to see you if your message sucks.
Okay.
Get on the phone and start recording videos. Like the greatest thing is your job is to get what's in here out there.
Out there.
And video, I think, is a great way to do it because most people are visual learners. I would much rather watch a video than read an article. I don't listen to the podcast because auditory is the worst for me. If we were doing this with my eyes closed, it'd be a lot harder for me because I like to be able to see you. A lot of people are like that. So seeing you on video, you'll have a much bigger reach than just writing articles. But have you made videos yet?
I did one maybe almost a year ago.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You came here, it's amazing, you're pumped up, like I'm going to make videos. You're going to record one, you can say, man, I suck. Right?
Well, that's what I had said about the first one.
Right. But how long ago was the first one?
It was almost a year ago.
That's what you need to kill.
Okay.
That 1 year gap is the thing you need to destroy.
Yeah.
Like, you need to expect to suck at the beginning.
Okay.
People don't get into this because they expect to be great. And you're an expert, you know what you're talking about. If we go into nutrition and everything that you're great at, you're going to run circles around everybody. But this is a new skill set that you don't know how to do yet, right? So it doesn't mean you suck as a human. You're great. You just suck at the skill. And so your first one is supposed to suck. Like, if you don't suck on your first video, you should have started 5 years ago. I'm serious. Like, the first time you try anything, you should suck at it because it's your first time. But we expect to be great, and then when you look at it, you're embarrassed. I was embarrassed by my first 350 videos. on YouTube, published videos, 350. I couldn't watch them back. I would cringe. I would look at it like, oh my God, it's so bad. I couldn't watch it back. And then it took me 700 videos until I watched one of my own videos, and I'm like, I'm getting pretty good. Right? Like, I like that one. I kind of motivated myself on that. 700 public videos in, right? So I think that's the thing that prevents people from just doing it, is because you expect to be great, and you need to post. So the best thing you can do for LinkedIn video is for the next 5 days, post a video a day. Think about what the most pressing needs are. Think about the article that popped, that went trending. Take some highlights from that, and then you're an expert. You have a deep well of knowledge, so take me deeper into each one of those points. And just make sure the camera is kind of stable, and press record and go. Yeah, and then expect it to kind of suck, and that's awesome. Keep going. You'll get better.
What's your name?
Teresa.
Teresa, okay, by the end of the conference, we expect you to have a video up. You can do it.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't tell you my last name.
Right?
All right, let's go over here to Mark.
Good morning. My name is Mark. I own Blue Gray Marketing. I got into YouTube, or I started exploring YouTube, not coming from a YouTube content creation perspective, but I got into it coming from a perspective of I wanted to do something for my clients that would help their SEO search results. So when I got into it, it was all about SEO, the titles, the descriptions, and I heard about closed captions. I also just heard you say that you don't recommend it. And my question is this: do you not recommend it because you are basing your videos on content quality first, or do you think it does not help for SEO purposes? Because I don't want to spend money on it if it's not going to help my SEO purposes. Thank you.
I think if you're going to guide your clients to YouTube, then the best thing you can do is not focus on SEO, but help them get, you're in the business of helping them get results. You want to help them get clients. And so helping them actually create a content schedule and calendar that will help them achieve the objective is more valuable to you and to them than to just trying to rank for different keywords. It's a bigger thing than should I include captions or not. Search is not the game on YouTube. Sure, it's the second biggest search engine in the world, but most of the viewing habits are not done via search. Like, what does your client sell?
I should probably clarify that I put the videos on YouTube so that they'll get SEO traction in Google search results off of YouTube.
Sure, I think you're missing a huge opportunity to actually have a YouTube channel for them that generates results natively on YouTube that will help explode their business. Even looking at Tim, who showed his last example, the guy went from 20,000 to 100,000 a month, like that should be your client. I think the game you're playing with YouTube is a really small game compared to what you could be playing in the value that you bring to your clients.
I appreciate that. That's valuable. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, the power of YouTube it's not just here. There's so many different things that you can do with video and with YouTube to grow your business. It's not just a matter of like, I just want to drive some SEO search terms for my website. It's building, you can build an empire with YouTube like Evan has. Let's go to this question over here.
Hi. Hi, my name is Mariah, and my question has to do with the frequency of posting and saturating your intended audience. I work for the National Terrazzo and Mosaic Association. If you don't know what terrazzo is, it's that beautiful flooring, hand-poured flooring that you see, and it's very, very trendy right now. And we're posting, both myself and colleagues are posting all across the map, Pinterest and YouTube and Facebook and all of it. And one of the things we're hearing from our architects and designers who we target is they're sick of seeing terrazzo. So I'm at odds with your recommendation to post daily and saturating the audience and creating a disinterest in what we're trying to promote.
I don't think saturation is a thing if you're making good content. You know,
You hear all those
really?
yeah,
I mean, people say also, like, people have short attention spans, right? But you'll sit and watch a 3-hour Star Wars movie, but you won't watch a 30-second Chorizo commercial. Well, because the commercial sucks, right? Football games,
We don't watch, yeah. Some people sit and watch 4-hour football games.
Yeah, sure. So, listen, I did a really controversial thing a couple of months ago that I don't know if it's the right call or not. I split up my channel. So I was doing 3 videos a day on my channel, 3 videos every day, and my channel was growing. Then there's like 5 people in the world whose advice on YouTube, when they tell me to do something, I'm really going to pay attention to. And one of them is Matt Geelan, if you guys know from Little Monsters, who said, Evan, you need to split up your channels and go daily on multiple channels instead of 3 on 1 channel. And another one is Jeremy Vest, co-founder of this place, who said, Evan, that's not the right call. You should keep them on 1 channel. So there's 5 people in the world who, like, if they told me to do something for YouTube, like, Jeremy's telling me something on YouTube, my ears are like, give it to me, dude. And they're disagreeing with each other. What do I do? Well, I know what 3 videos a day looks like because I've been doing it for the past X years. I don't know what 8 different channels looks like. And so I would rather know and fail than not know. And so I tried it. And it's been, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. And so far, it's actually not great. Right? Like, it's not blowing up. My sub-channels are like 10,000 something. And then maybe that sounds like a lot, but for me, it's nothing, right? It's way lower
It's
than
all relative. It's all relative.
lower than my expectation. So, like, so far, it's not working out, right? But again, I'd rather know and fail than not know. So I wouldn't default to thinking there's not saturation in the market. How many videos are being watched? Right? There's so many videos going up. You're nothing compared to, like, the quantity that's going up on the internet. Even for the advice on, like, the scheduling for your videos. So like, you've got your videos, I saw your channels like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Nobody knows that. Right? Like, nobody's sitting there on Wednesday saying, I can't wait for the next, like, even hardcore fans. No, nobody's doing that. Like, nobody's waiting on Wednesday morning for the plumbing video to come out. Right?
We love you, Roger.
Right? Like, the number of people who, and now there are some hardcore fans for everybody who will, like, oh, if they didn't, like, if you didn't post a video, if you didn't post a Wednesday video, how many people would write to you to say, dude, where's my Wednesday video? Like, not very many. But we're focusing on the wrong things. You're not going to educate your market to say, like, every Wednesday, watch my video, right? So if you are giving insane value to the community, then people would want to watch the content. It's just, how do you make Chirazo interesting? And ideally, your goal for your channel is you want to be always bringing in new people, right? Like, for growing channels, 80% plus of your traffic should be non-subscribers. If you're only talking to your subscribers, your channel's dying. So if you look at your analytics and see where your views are coming from, you want 80% plus to be non-subscribers. So they don't know your schedule. They don't know how much churrazo is coming out. They don't know all this stuff, right? So I'm a big believer that if you're hitting them with valuable content, that you don't have saturation.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right, we have time for one more right here.
Alrighty, I'll correct you. There is one guy on Roger's channel that comments on every video.
I love it. No, and listen, there's probably more than one guy. You will.
I think it's
right?
Roger's secret account, but but no. I did have one question. So we have been, working on plumbing videos, and our audience, I would think, is, predominantly plumbers or people who are in the trade. Any recommendations on how to, create content, or if it's even recommended for us to create content outside of plumbing to reach a bigger audience, to get their attention? Hair in the drain?
So if you want to gain subscribers, I'm a big believer that it's around your values, not around just the content. If you're just teaching people, and I mean, I haven't really seen the channel, but if you're just saying, hey, here's how you do X, Y, Z, then you're going to have slow growth. You have to make me feel something. Great art makes people feel, right?
Right.
You're artists, right? Hopefully in this speech, you're feeling something. If not, then I suck, right?
I've got chills right now. That was great.
So the question you want to ask is, yes, we're teaching people how to fix their plumbing or whatever else you want to teach, but what's the feeling that I get after watching your video? What's the emotion? If it's only coming from the tactical, great. I figured out how to unplug my toilet. I'm out. Why would I subscribe to your channel and keep coming back and watching more? Because you make me feel something. So what's the emotion behind your channel? What do you want people to feel every time they watch a video?
Educated.
Okay, but what's the emotion? Like, it's possible, I can do it?
Absolutely. The fact that I put it to them in a way that they can learn how to do it and save themselves money.
But so it's still practical, right? Like, save you money, but I feel hope. I feel like I can do it. I feel like it's possible. That needs to be the emotion, or like whatever's actually inside you. Like, I want people to feel believe in everything that I do. In every video I make, in this presentation, in every conversation, I want you to feel a little more belief in yourself. If I don't, then I fail, but it's always my intention. So same thing for you. I want people to feel like this is possible, that you can do it. So that becomes the message. Then, do you want to branch outside plumbing? I don't know. Does it make sense? Is there a business ROI for it? Do you have a passion for building chairs that now you want to teach people on too, right? Like, everything can work. It just, will it work for you? But if you have a building chair and then a plumbing channel, it seems like it's all over the place. But it may not be, because it's really about teaching you that you can do things. I was on a flight with a woman who found out that I was a YouTuber, and she was telling me, oh, my boyfriend he's a male nurse, and he's a YouTuber. He's trying to build his channel. I was like, oh, cool. What does he do on his videos? And she said, well, he takes people on tours of Seattle parks that you can walk through, because he's a male nurse and he sees all these people with all these crazy diseases. It's like, if you just walked, you can solve a lot of health issues, right? So he wants to encourage people to walk, but he's doing these reviews of trails in Seattle. That's really small and niche. Like, unless you're going to go on that trail in Seattle, who cares? But his intention is, I want people to walk, right? I want people to feel like they can get out and walk and get healthy. If you just approached your videos with that mindset, then your goal would be to motivate me in Toronto, Canada, or Dallas, Texas, to go and walk, watching you do it in Seattle. That's how you build a big brand, instead of just this really micro niche thing. And so a lot of the how-to channels, this is where they fail, because, okay, I learned how to do the thing. Great, I'm out. I don't feel anything. I have to feel connected to you and your story and the mission that you're on. And when I feel that, I'm going to subscribe, I'm going to watch your content. And then you can branch out into multiple different areas, because it's the same audience.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
That was great, Evan. Thanks so much. So glad that you're here. Guys, what is the number one takeaway you got from Evan's speech?
If you want to know why your comfort zone is destroying your life, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.